Boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm For Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what we do have in it is Journey to the Savage Planet. So this game it is developed by a new developer studio called Typhoon Studios, which contains people from Ubisoft, Electronic Arts and also Warner Bros. From Ubisoft, it contains one of the major developers and leaders from Far Cry 4, so there are some kind of influences into this game regarding Far Cry 4 and, well, this game itself. Yeah, but most of it's not about what you think, and I will explain a little bit further. So this game it is some kind of exploration game and looting game, not entirely, but mostly an exploration game with some combat, boss fights, and that. So, but I know that you are here for the performance, so let's take a look into the settings that that's not it. This is photo mode. I'm sorry. So let's get back to the graphical options in here. So I'm using borderless record and I'm using 720p instead of the resolution that it's shown there on the description. I'm using low settings, and for the anti-aliasing I'm using FXAA. So looking to the requirements, this game it is asking for a GTX 660, which is far superior than our GT 740M. First gen i5 750, I believe we are better than this, and also they are asking for 4 gigs of RAM, but I do recommend you to have at least 6 or 8 gigs of RAM for this game. So with the low settings with 720p and using FXAA, what I got was an average of 38 frames per second with a 1% low of 27, being the most demanding places for this graphic card. Your ship, which is pretty much the place where you rest and upgrade your stuff, I mean your equipment and everything about your character. This is some sort of a small area, very small one. This is where you actually where you actually get the worst performance in this game. Or for example, if you are on a cave and you have some sort of light source with you, like some sort of flashlight, and you go outside, so not only outside it is more demanding than a cave. If you pack up one of their flashlights or light sources, it's going to cast shadows and the performance it is much worse than without that some sort of lantern. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Overall the game plays above 30 frames per second. Sometimes the CPU can ramp a little bit up and cause a little bit of juddering, but not that much. The performance it is really good, and it is very rare to see an Unreal Engine 4 game to perform pretty much above 30 frames per second at 720p native, without without needing to use resolution scaling or some sort of tweaks to run at 30 frames per second. So at least you are really able to play this game at 720p. The low settings doesn't actually look that bad because you still have shadows in this game, despite they are some sort of blocky. They are soft, as you can see. It's not an hard shadow or anything like it. You can really see they are blocky, but nonetheless it feels fine. Foliage, there is some sort of a big downgrade in here. There is barely any foliage in here, but I think it's still manageable. But yeah, the game still looks good. You can see some popping going on, but I think it's really good for this laptop to be playing a game like this at 2020. But what about the game? Let's check now what I have to say about the game. So I was telling you that this game have a lot of influences from Far Cry 4, but we are not seeing any of it. So this game contains a lot of upgradable stuff, and you have kind of some quests to find items and let's say loot stuff, which resembles a little bit of Far Cry 4, but that it is where it finishes. Because all of the stuff about this game, it is mostly about collecting stuff, and despite you have a weapon and you can upgrade your weapon, this is one of the biggest upgrades, it is on your weapon. The fact is, the combat system of this game, it isn't really anything special, and despite you have boss fights, it's still yeah, not really that special. But I believe that, and according to reviews, the big thing about this game, it is really the loot, the really exploration. There is a little bit of Metrovania into this game, because there are areas which you can explore at first, and then after upgrading a lot of stuff and after looting a lot of stuff, you are able to unlock stuff that allows you to go to those areas where you couldn't reach before because of, for example, a grappling hook, or the thing that you get a jetpack that allows you to jump more further. So there are a lot of concepts and ideas which makes this game nice, and the exploration in this game, it is really good. And despite this game doesn't really hold you that long by the end, you still have a questing system, and you have a beginning and a finish, which is pretty good in my opinion. Also, you can play this game in cooperative, but there isn't really any reason for that unless you want to play with a friend of yours, and this allows you to loot and beat boss fights or killing some monsters more faster than playing alone. But apart from that, there is no reason for doing it. So this game costs $29.99. I don't think it is a bad price. I think it's a really good price in my opinion. The game, it is average to good in my opinion. Yeah, it's pretty much my idea, but I do recommend you to read some reviews or watch some videos about the game before proceeding to the buy. Despite it is very cheap, unfortunately it is only available at Epic Store, but you can get the game easily from other sites like Greenman Gaming, or I don't know, even gray market stores. But the thing is, if you need to activate this game at the time of this video, even if you buy through Greenman Gaming or any gray market store, you need to activate it on Epic Store, and there is no Steam version available at the moment. So yeah, for many people this is a big no into buying this game. Alright guys, so I think that's all that I want to talk about Journey to the Savage Planet. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
No. No. Hop. No. Hop. Hop. Hop.
Once you've gathered the other resources required to craft the boost pack, you'll be capable of limited flight. A bit like a chicken, but with more pollution.
Hop. 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 Hop.
Micro Mills Plaza, the ultimate Earth life simulator. Create tiny human life forms by just adding sub-zero radioactive water to a micro life powder packet and see your mall's inhabitants grow in just minutes. Watch them stroll, shop, and live as they autonomously move throughout their very own shopping complex, completely unaware of your presence. Engage in fascinating examination of standard Earth activity, or declare a Black Friday and send your shoppers into a violent bargain hunting frenzy where only the strong survive. Mini Mall Monkeys Micro Mills Plaza comes with environmentally stabilized shopping mall biochamber, 3 packets of powdered micro monkeys, and stirring stick from Lil Labs.